Summertime is heating up at Global Voice Broadcasting. Hot music, hot talk, and hot topics. All day, every day, 24/7. You don't want to miss a minute on Global Voice Broadcasting.
I highly recommend Ms. Hicks. Her books, her CDs are encouraging.
I bought her book, A Hill to Climb. She's a very inspirational speaker.
And I look forward to one day being able to work with her.
Your power lies within you. Let it loose.
Aspiration, inspiration, motivation, edification, determination. These are the keys of life success, brought to you by none other than award-winning author, motivational lecturer, business consultant, and much more as she gets you aimed to your purpose. And now, ladies and gentlemen, young and elder, from Hollywood to the entire world, here is your host of Aim to Purpose, the radio show, Louise Hicks, along with her co-host, yours truly, Kennon Wesley Mason.
Hello, world. How's everybody today? And welcome once again. Here we are. I'm Louise Hicks, your host of Aim to Purpose, the radio show.
And I am your host, Kennon Mason, and I want to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone listening and watching Aim to Purpose from all over the world as we bring you another special edition as we are taking Aim to Purpose, the radio show, to the entertainment world and the world of entertainment.
And we have a great guest for you today. And I know you all have been inspired by that sizzling Tyler Perry drama.
The haves.
The haves.
And the have-nots.
And the have-nots.
Yes.
And I watch it every week. And we have our special guest in the house with us, Patrick Faucette.
That's right.
Better known as Tony Watson on the Have and Have-Nots.
That's right. He's going to be our special guest. But first, you wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things that happened this weekend.
Oh, yes. We had a great weekend. I had a couple of events. I was a speaker at In Action Family Network, a nonprofit organization that had this great tea over the weekend on Saturday, and I tell you, we had a great time. I spoke on living with purpose, and as you all know, I love being about the purpose because that's what life is all about. Figuring out what your purpose is and living it, living your dream and knowing what your dream is. And the theme of the event was creating dynamic women across the generations. And it's interesting because I'm a baby boomer, and we talked about all the generations, even the little ones. A 10-year-old I was so inspired by her because I asked for someone to come up, and she came up, and I ended up giving her one of my books here, and it was exciting. She was so excited, and come to find out her grandmom has a book club, and they're inviting me to come and talk about this dynamic book, A Hill to Climb, a teenager's battle with cancer, depression, and drug addiction that chronicles my struggles, ups and down, triumphs with my 14-year-old son who was diagnosed with cancer. And then, to top the evening off, we went to this amazing concert with Miss Sophia Mojo.
Yes.
And I'll let Ken tell you about that.
Well, yeah, she was last week's guest, and we went to her EP release party right here in Southern California, and it was a great turnout. The music was great. Her and her group, Harmony 321, all of their voices were great, and I loved it. I loved the music, and all of the songs that they covered were great. I thought they all sounded good.
And they really did. And it was the launching release of her EP, Love Me, Love Me Not. And right. I tell you, that girl can sing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She was good. She was really great. So with that being said, and talking about music, we're going to take a commercial break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk to our featured guest in the studio.
Yep.
Mr. I almost said Tony Watson because he plays Tony Watson, but Patrick Faucette. And we're going to come back and we're going to talk to Patrick about his life journey and how he got into acting and so forth, and his love of music as well. So let's take that break, and we're going to come back and introduce you to our special guest.
Don't you go nowhere. This edition of Aim to Purpose, the radio show, is brought to you by L. Hicks Consulting Services. When you want the best in business coaching, life coaching, or perhaps your organization, business, or company is in need of a dynamic speaker for an upcoming workshop or seminar, contact Louise Hicks for L. Hicks Consulting Services at 1-562-310-1495. From anywhere around the world, that's 1-562-310-1495. For more information about Louise Hicks and her consulting services, visit her website at www.louisehicks.biz. Again, that's www.louisehicks.biz. Or call 1-562-310-1495. L. Hicks Consulting Services, where professionalism is top priority.
Hello, world, again. Once again, I'm Louise Hicks, your host here at Aim to Purpose, the radio show, along with my co-host and son, Kennon Wesley Mason. And we are here in the studio today with our special guest, and we're going to go ahead and introduce Patrick Faucette.
Oh, yes. Originally from Willingboro, New Jersey, performing has always been in the forefront of Patrick's interests. He began his career with his first love, music, playing the bass guitar in several bands before graduating from Cinnaminson High School. Patrick also loved to perform on the field. He is a talented athlete and attended Boston University on a football scholarship where he majored in physical therapy. After graduating from college, Patrick moved to San Francisco and quickly was employed as a physical therapist. Under the influence of his roommates and the love of performing, Patrick soon began his acting career in local theaters, commercials, and print advertisement. He loved the idea of bringing characters to life and decided to move to Los Angeles to seriously pursue his new passion. Since then, Patrick has acquired notable film and television credits like Walk Hard, Teenage Bank Heist, The Office, Southland, Hot in Cleveland, and Cougar Town. Patrick Faucette's breakthrough role was in OWN's highest-rated drama, The Haves and the Have-Nots. Written and directed by Tyler Perry, Patrick plays the role of Tony Watson, the long-lost father of Bennie Young, played by Tyler Lepley. His character creates quite a stir in the lives of the have-nots with his renewed interest in the life of his son. So let's give a warm, Aim to Purpose welcome to our very special guest, Mr. Patrick Faucette.
Yes, welcome, Patrick, and thank you for coming into the studio and
thank you.
Sharing with our audience today, our global audience.
Thank you for having me.
So we just want to jump right into it because we talked about your bio and everything. You're from the East Coast, New Jersey. And Jersey. And what was it like growing up on the East Coast, and then you migrated to the West Coast?
Well, I mean, growing up in New Jersey was a great for a kid. New Jersey is the best. Mm-hmm. You got all the seasons. You got the snow. You got the summertime with the hot weather. You know, you got the spring. As a kid, it's a great place to grow up.
Yeah.
You know, you got all the seasons. You get to make money shoveling snow, cutting grass.
Right.
You know, as a kid. So you learn to become industrious, make that money.
I like that word, industrious. My grandmother used to say that all the time. I was born and raised in Shreveport, Louisiana, and migrated to the West Coast. I guess I'm a Southern girl at heart here. And they used to say that all the time, being industrious. Mm-hmm. And you had to shovel the snow?
Oh, yeah. I used to, when the snow would come, you listen to the radio, make sure you don't have school if it's enough snow.
Okay.
And once your number comes up on the radio, you're like, oh yeah, get dressed and get ready to go knock on some doors.
Right.
And say, oh, can I shovel your snow? $5 for a house.
Make that money.
$10 for the corner.
Getting that hustle on.
Get the hustle on.
That's how you do it. That's how you move it along. And it's something. You played football too, and you went to college on a football scholarship. So how was that like? Because I love football.
Yeah, well, as a kid, I played pretty much every sport: basketball, baseball, football. But I didn't really get into football until I was in high school because my brother was a big football star. And he actually played for the Giants and the Chargers. But my mom, because she saw how my brother break his arm, broke his nose, and she didn't want me to play. She was like, "You're not playing football." So finally, when I was a freshman in high school, I just signed her name on the permission slip.
Oh, no, you didn't.
So I could play. But it paid off because I got a football scholarship to college. So.
I guess that signature was okay. You know that mama wisdom now, because I know my son Ken played football a little bit in high school, and we always, that mama wisdom kicks in, and you get a little fearful here and say, oh gosh, will he get hurt?
You don't want your baby getting hurt.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I was the baby boy.
There you go.
I want my baby boy out there.
No, that's right.
How'd you transition? I mean, what was the turning point that made you transition from playing football in college and then wanting to pursue acting, making that move from one coast to the next coast?
Well, I went to school. Well, my whole life I always played the bass guitar. I was a musician. My mom's a musician. She's a pianist, and she has a master's in music. So we all had to play something when we were kids.
Right.
So I played the bass, and but when I went to college, because I was a football player, the bass kind of took a back seat.
Yeah.
And then 4 years of college. And I met a girl in college who was from San Francisco, and that kind of brought me to the West Coast after I graduated. So I ended up in San Francisco living with some friends from school that were actually in the acting school at Boston University. So I used to go see all their plays and watch them doing their theater. And they finally convinced me to do a play with them. Yeah. So we put together this play, and I played one of the characters. And then I kind of caught that acting bug, and I started taking classes in San Francisco and got an agent, started doing commercials and theater and doing some modeling stuff. And that's
everything.
That's how I got going.
Let's back up, because even before that, you got into physical therapy, which is a little bit different of it's a different kind of a genre, if you will, from acting and football. So what was that experience like, being in the medical field, if you will?
Yeah, well, I majored in physical therapy, and I with the thought of being like a physical therapist for a sports team, you know, treating sports injuries and things like that. So that's kind of how I got into it as a football player, thinking, I'll be able to take care of myself and my football injuries, and when I graduate, still be close to sports. So that's kind of how I got into that. And then when I moved to San Francisco, I started working as a physical therapist as well.
How long did you practice before you got that first break in your commercials or whatnot? How long?
Well, I still actually practice physical therapy. Yeah, I contract to a couple different places, just part-time, when I'm not in Atlanta or when I'm not shooting something. I'm working as a physical therapist as well. Yeah.
That's great.
Gotta keep the hustle.
It's all. That's what life is about. You know, you get aimed to your purpose. I tell everybody that's why I started this show, because this show is about aspiration, inspiration, motivation, edification, and determination. And when you have all of that, those components, and you throw that vision, faith, hope, knowledge, and put some action to it, you cannot help but move forward in life to get the desires of your heart. And I tell everybody that purpose is about pursuing urgently realistic potential opportunities, successfully envisioned, and I said successfully now. So so when you know your purpose and you realize it, about what age did you realize, because I know some of us early on in life, we know, because when I was 12, I knew that I was going to be a best-selling author one day. I had no idea that my book would catapult me into becoming an award-winning author. But about what age were you when you realized your calling, your mission, or what you really wanted to do, which was music and acting?
Yeah, probably when I was 6th or 7th grade. I was getting really good at the bass guitar, and I realized I wanted to perform and entertain. And then started a couple of bands when I was in junior high school. I was in R&B band. I was in a rock band. I was in a gospel band.
Wow.
You ran the gauntlet, huh?
You know, every talent show that they had from 7th grade through, high school, I was in it playing the bass. And so I knew back then I wanted to be something in entertainment business.
Oh yeah. And you're so multi-talented.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing how sometimes we don't always realize how much talent we do have until we start doing things, and then it comes to we come to recognize and realize, wow, I can do this, I can do that. That's a great thing.
That potential.
Oh yeah, that's a great thing. And you from physical therapy, and you're still doing that, and that's a great thing, because now when you were growing up, was it something in your life or somebody's family's life that inspired you to want to go into this area of medicine?
Not really. I really didn't think about the physical therapy until I got to college, and then and started thinking about sports, and when I was playing football and seeing all the injuries. And then Boston University had one of the top physical therapy programs in the nation. And so when I realized that, I thought, let me steer my career that way. And that's and it worked out nice.
Oh yeah, and that's a good thing, because you, like you said, you see the injuries and everything. Did you ever get injured, or were you okay? You were tough enough not to let them get to you.
Well, no, I broke my wrist, and I broke my hand.
Oh wow!
During the spring football season, and it was funny because I broke my wrist on a Saturday. I didn't know it was broken, and then all weekend my wrist was killing me. I went into the training room on Monday and had the trainer look at it, took an x-ray. Sure enough, it was broken. Had it casted up Monday. Wednesday, I'm back at practice because, you break your hand, your wrist, no big deal. They put a cast on, put a big foam thing over it. So Wednesday, I'm back at practice. Boom, I broke my left hand, my other hand.
Goodness.
So then I had 2 casts on. I was out for the spring.
Right.
With 2 casts for 6.5 weeks.
Wow.
And what amazes me about athletes is that even though they have an injury, they play. Because this is their, I guess they're just so gung-ho with what they're doing until it's like they don't even have an injury sometimes. They just keep playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I was a senior, since I had studied physical therapy, you'd be out there on the field and someone would dislocate a finger, come to the sideline, finger sticking backwards.
Pop it right back in.
I'll pop it in, tape it together, tell them, get back out there.
Yeah. You were the go-to man.
Yeah, they were like, Patrick, my finger. I'm like, look the other way. Pop!
Right.
Tape it up.
Now, what position did you say you played?
I played linebacker.
Oh, linebacker. Oh, wow. Is that when they hit you real hard?
Well, I used to hit people real hard.
Oh, you hit them real hard.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, you hit them hard. Now I know you ended up coming from San Francisco and you moved down to Hollywood. What's the lifestyle like in Hollywood? You coming from the East Coast where we have the New Yorkers and Los Angeles, and sometimes you hear all those things about, seems to be sometimes some people think it's competition, the East Coast, West Coast. How do you like this lifestyle versus the East Coast lifestyle?
I love the West Coast lifestyle. I'm sorry, Jersey.
Jersey.
As
many people do when they come out here.
Yeah, it's just
it's a total shift.
With the weather, it's so beautiful out, and I like it hot. So, it's a lot easier than shoveling snow, scraping the ice off your mirror, your windshield, warming your car up for like 15, 20 minutes before you go. It's a lot easier life out here. Except for the traffic.
Now, you can say that again because the traffic is something else. And I know I've been living in California coming from Louisiana over 40 years, I think now. So California is really home for me because I came here right out of high school. And it was really a transition for me because of growing up in the South, going to an all-black school, come out here to go to college, my first integration into school. And it was a change. It was a transition for me. So I can imagine, but I do love the West Coast too, and the weather is nice.
Beautiful.
Beautiful weather. So we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to, unless you have something, Ken, you want to...
Actually, we can take a break because actually what we're going to show the clip.
Yeah, when we're
going to show the clip and transition to... his first acting gigs and what transitioned him into going into the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah, so we're going to take a commercial break, and then we're going to come back and show the clip from the have and have-nots. And we're going to talk about this sizzling hot drama. and Patrick said he likes it hot. So, hey, I tell you, the have and have-nots is hot.
That's right. So we'll be right back with our special guest, Patrick Faucette. Don't you go nowhere.
Hello, world. Hey, it's the 1-year anniversary of Aim to Purpose, the radio show. So first, we thank the staff at Global Voice Broadcasting for the platform and the opportunity. Go to gvbstudios.com/show/A2P. Next, we thank our wonderful guests that have graced the airwaves of Aim to Purpose over the past year, like Dr. Caldwell B. Esselstyn from the documentary Forks Over Knives, Nazir Alim Bey with his soon-to-be-released documentary entitled Melanin, the God Particle. From the Citizens Commission on Human Rights, Dr. Jeffrey A. Shaler, and Professor Baron K. Brown, who's become a regular on the show. Internationally, we've had guests such as Bridget Nkuna and Sarah Jane Farrell from South Africa, award-winning author F.T. Camargo from Brazil, Brenda Pierce, the Empower Nurse from Canada, double Olympic medalist from the British cycling team, Brian Steele, and many other great guests that have openly shared their knowledge, humor, wit, and wisdom with the A2P universe. And most important, we thank you, the listening and viewing audience, for tuning in each and every Monday. Information is power, and the more our audience grows, the more open minds that'll receive the information, which makes all of us powerful. So we encourage all of you to spread the word about Aim to Purpose, the radio show. Lastly, if you know someone with a product, business, or foundation that's interested in advertising as a sponsor for the show, contact A2P host Louise Hicks at louisehicks.biz or Shamika Brown at divinebrownmedia.com. Be a part of the A2P movement, as there is always power in numbers of like minds that multiply. And follow us on social media at Aim to Purpose, #A2P. Once again, thank you all from Aim to Purpose, the radio show.
Hello again, world. And we are here in the studio today live. And by the way, if you want to talk to Patrick, feel free to call in at 1-323-522-5482. Again, that's 1-323-522-5482. And as we said at the top of the hour, Patrick Faucette is from this Tyler Perry highly acclaimed drama, The Have and the Have-Nots. And we're so happy to have Patrick in the studio. And what we're going to do right now,
before we go into the clip, I have a question. Let's talk about the beginning of your acting career. What are there difficulties being a new actor, trying to get that major part, and being an actor of color? What have you experienced on that journey going from the beginnings to where you are now? What were, if any, pitfalls or experience that you may have seen in the beginning?
Right. Yeah. I mean, when I first came to LA, the whole being new to LA, you gotta find your way around. You got back then. You used to have your Thomas guide.
Oh yeah,
you know, big old map.
No GPSs back then.
To try to find your way around LA. So it was, one of the things you had to find. First, you had to get an agent. You had to have your pictures done. So you just had to have patience to get all these things done that you need to do to get rolling.
Right.
Get your pictures, get an agent. And it's tough to get a theatrical agent, an agent for TV and film, but it's a little easier to get a commercial agent. So start off with your commercial agent.
Right.
Try to do some commercials so you get some money coming in.
Yeah.
And then, work on getting that theatrical agent and
right.
doing some student films to try to get like some tape to send to the theatrical agent. So it's a lot of things you have to go through to get rolling and to get going.
Because I do see a lot of actors that are mega stars now, but when you go back into their beginnings, they did start in maybe a cameo in a music video or a cameo in a commercial, or they did advertisings for certain products, or anything to get their foot in the door. Anything to get their foot in the door. And so tell us about some of your early accomplishments in acting before we get into the haves and the have-nots.
Okay, I guess some of the one of the first things I worked on when I came to LA is I became an extra on this movie Panther with Mario Van Peebles.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
So I was one of the main Panthers. So I was doing a lot of work as an extra on that movie and got to know Mario Van Peebles. And then he tossed me a line and got me doing a scene where I was at a wedding and Bobby Seale was my best man, and the police busted in and arrested Bobby Seale.
Right.
So that was my first couple of lines.
There you go.
Even though it kind of got cut into like a montage, so you really didn't get the line out. But that was the first.
But you still had the experience.
Yeah, that was my first experience in the limelight and the first taste of big movie type thing.
Well, being with Mario Van Peebles, I mean, that's a great place to start.
It is. Great place to start.
That's a great place to start with his background coming with his father and things like that. So you were in good hands going from being with Mario. And what did you learn? Did you learn anything being on the set with him?
I mean, I learned a lot of, just how to be on the set, how the set works. You learn your way around the set so that you have that experience. That really gave me the experience. So I'm not like a green, newbie when I get on the set.
That's right.
I knew my way around from being there, and because I spent a lot of days on that movie.
Right.
Kind of like a mentor. And that's great because mentoring is great, especially when you're breaking into acting. It's kind of difficult sometimes. And what about people of color? We hear that it's difficult to break into the industry to get quality roles and so forth.
Yeah, especially, when you're first starting off, you're doing a lot of small roles. You're playing the cop, you're playing the teacher, you got one line here, one line there. And then for those roles, they're not sure, are we going to go with black cop or are we going to go with a white cop? And a lot of times, you don't get the shot as much.
Right.
And they'll go with the white cop or the white teacher because the casting might not be as, dynamic as you might want it to be.
That's right.
But gradually as you start to get some stuff, then you build up your contacts or the casting people that and then they're like, oh, okay, well, he can play this role, or let's bring him in for that. And then you start, working more and more. But it is a tougher road for African Americans, in the movies. That just by looking at the TV, you see, how many white shows or predominantly white shows, and they may have that one black guy or in the show. But that's the beautiful thing about Tyler Perry. He gives so many black actors shots to be, in his shows, his films. because he creates a lot of content.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
And creates opportunities for new actors and actresses that we've never seen before.
Yeah.
Which is a great thing. What was the thing that led you to going to that audition for the Haves and Have-Nots? What was the one thing that kind of led you to it?
Well, that was I had actually auditioned for Love Thy Neighbor.
Okay.
And I also auditioned for
one of Tyler's
other TV shows that I didn't get. And then I got this call for the audition. It was a Friday, same day audition. And I was working that day, and I get a call in the morning, and my agent said, "Oh, I got an audition for a new Tyler Perry show.
Right.
Have and Have Nots. You're playing this guy Tony. He's a blind date for Hannah. Because I was at that point, they didn't know I was going to be playing the father. It was just a blind date. So I got my little script and looked it over all morning, pretended I was working, but I was really just studying my script.
Right.
And then went on the audition in the afternoon that Friday. Went in there. For some reason, that script just kind of resonated with me, and I,
and you nailed it.
Knocked it out the park.
Yeah.
There you go.
Got home that day. I was Friday evening, barbecuing a little bit. Get a call from my agent. You got it. You flying out Monday. I'm like, just like that.
Yes.
I said, okay.
Now, where do they tape the Have and Have-Nots? Is that in Atlanta?
That's in Atlanta, yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
It was
Tyler
taped
Perry
in.
Studios.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful thing. I got to Atlanta, and then when we were shooting, before we shot, people started saying how much I look like Tyler Lepley, the guy who plays.
You do.
Yeah.
The guy who plays Benny.
That's right.
So, everybody's talking about it, and they were looking for someone to play Benny's dad.
Right.
So when we got to the set, the Crystal Fox, she plays Hannah.
Right.
Was saying to Tyler Perry, "Mr. Perry, doesn't he look a lot like Tyler?" And he just kind of shrugged it off, like, yeah. And so then we ran through the first scene, which you probably will see on the clip.
Oh yeah.
And then after when Benny walks out the door, Tyler Perry stopped the production. He said, "Okay, when he walks out the door, I want you to say, 'Does he know?'" And then he's gonna say, or you're gonna say, "He doesn't have a clue." Like, does he know I'm his father?
Right.
He doesn't have a clue. And I'm like, "Oh, so we gonna go there?" And he's like, "If we're gonna do this, let's do this."
That's right.
And I said, "Oh man!" In my mind, I'm thinking, "Oh man, I'm gonna be on this show."
And now, how exciting was that to meet Tyler Perry?
Oh, it was very exciting because Tyler Perry is like a giant in the industry,
right?
With all the movies and the TV shows. He's like a megastar, and he's a big dude too.
Oh yeah,
6'5" or taller.
Wow.
So it's kind of intimidating at first.
Oh yeah.
But the man, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
yes,
a
he
genius
does.
on it.
Yes,
He's a
you can
genius.
tell because his writing is just impeccable. Because I watch it every Tuesday. I don't think I've missed an episode yet. And I'm not really a person that watches a lot of TV, but I tell you, his writing is so just impeccable until he just draws you in.
Yeah, and anything you could think of, he takes it to the next level.
Oh yeah,
man, he's good.
You can tell, and you can tell. I mean, the writing, the casting.
Yeah.
The casting is really important. What was it like being with that cast, or your time being with the cast? What was that experience, or what has that experience been?
Oh, it's great. I mean, the cast is so loose. I mean, everybody runs lines together. When we're in the makeup chair, like, okay, Crystal, Hannah will be next to me getting her makeup done, and be like, okay, let's run some lines.
Yeah.
There's nobody's like a diva or anything like that. Everybody's real cool.
Well, Tyler said he doesn't work with no divas.
No.
I don't work with divas.
No,
he said that a few times.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and something you said earlier, I kind of wanted to backtrack a little bit. I don't know, when did you come to L.A., by the way, from San Francisco? We know we didn't have any GPS, but you knew how to get your way from San Francisco to L.A. So when was that?
I came down to L.A. in 1994.
Oh, okay. So you've been in L.A. quite some time
been here
now.
for a minute,
Oh, yeah, you've been here for a minute. But I wanted to back up a little bit. You had talked, when you talked about actors and of color and how Tyler Perry is creating all these roles, and it came to mind. I remember Viola Davis talking about that on I think it was one of Oprah Winfrey's show, as well as The View, I think she was on, and she was very realistic about that, how it is difficult sometimes for actors of color to get into these more quality roles. So I'm really happy to see Tyler Perry bring all of this to us, because as a kid growing up, I mean, we were excited when I saw black people on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I used to rush home from school every day, and I know I'm going way back. Being 64, I grew up in this era, a baby boomer, and it was exciting. And now we are seeing these roles come on, and people like Tyler Perry bringing shows like that, Oprah Winfrey, to their own network, and it's really exciting, and it gives hope to other actors of color to realize that as long as you press on and you believe in you, and it can happen.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it can happen.
I commend them for that.
That's right.
Because, when you're on the, at Tyler Perry Studios, when you look around, you see black electricians, you see black grips, you see black carpenters.
That's
I
right.
mean,
that's right.
And it's a total twist from, here in Hollywood. You go to Fox Studios, you'll see some black electricians and black grips, but, it's
not the norm, huh?
Not the norm.
Right, it's not.
But down there, it's the norm in Atlanta, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
It is, because with the unemployment rate now for black people across the nation, we say it's 5.5%, but when it comes to black people, it's over 10%. Yeah. So that's a beautiful thing to see us, and it's not because we aren't qualified. Sometimes it's because we just don't get the jobs or the roles that we desire to get, or we are qualified to get.
Or the opportunity.
Right.
Tyler Perry's giving people opportunity to do what they do best, that they probably wouldn't get here in Hollywood, because it is dog eat dog, and if you go down to Atlanta where there is a little bit more freedom, or he's giving people the freedom to do what they do, it becomes a more comfortable environment, which I'm pretty sure you just mentioned that it is comfortable being with your castmates and having that easy time with them, as opposed to everyone wants to be the diva.
Right.
And what's the studio like when the environment? I can only imagine it has to be really nice.
Yeah, it's nice. It's state of the art. It seems pretty new. All the stages are named after like famous black actors.
Oh, give us some names. Or can you do that? Who are they named after?
Like
inquiring minds want to know.
They have like the Ossie Davis stage, and this musician. They're all named after famous black musicians and actors, and which is nice. And they've got everything. They got a wonderful dining area, and the makeup rooms and the stages are all state of the art and big and beautiful.
Yeah, it makes you. It definitely makes you feel like you've definitely arrived, even if it's not in Hollywood.
Yeah,
you're still
Hollywood
there.
South.
Hollywood South.
Yeah, actually, they shot more stuff in Atlanta last year than they shot out here. As far as TV pilots, they shot more in Atlanta than they shot in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
See, that's amazing. And Hollywood South, and being from the South, and Tyler Perry is from Louisiana. I've read his story. Yeah, he's from my home state, and I get excited when I hear that. I say, wow. And when he talks about his struggles and how he slept in his car, and look at what he's doing now. So that goes to show you it's not about where you come from. It's about where you're going, and it's about your own thoughts and your own power from within you. Because I always, we start the show off, your power lies within you. Let it loose. And it's just about you letting that power loose and just bringing out the best that you have to offer and who you are. And I see you've done that, and being multi-talented and coming from a multi-talented family too. I mean, that's amazing, because many people don't have it at that early age. They don't come from that background. So what's the best advice you can give? And we are going to show that clip, everybody. We're going to do it. But what advice would you give someone? You know, we have a lot of impoverished people, and I know Tyler Perry talks about that too, on how to inspire others, no matter what your background is. What advice would you give someone that may come from a more impoverished background that wants to get involved and do something extraordinary with their life?
Yeah, I just if you know your dream, and dream big, and if you know what you want to do, just kind of continue to pursue it, or pursue it till the end. I mean, no giving up. Just if you want to act. Even if it's small local theaters, if it's student films, if and continue to do what you want to do. And until you get to that next level, and that next level, and that next level, and keep pursuing it until you get where your dreams go. And then have bigger dreams.
Right. Perfect that craft.
Yeah.
Because acting is a craft. It's an art. And it does need to be molded and shaped so you can get better and better.
Yeah.
And
like when I was first starting acting, I didn't have much money. So I just went to City College of San Francisco.
There it is.
Started off my first little acting class.
That's right.
Just cheap acting class. Went there and got started.
Yeah. And look where you are now, because you said dream big, and obviously you dreamed big. And once you dream big, when you get there, you don't stop dreaming. You keep dreaming big.
Not done yet.
Right. You're not done yet.
That's right.
You keep dreaming, and that's how I feel. I mean, I never thought I would be sitting here doing what I'm doing today. I didn't go to school for journalism or any of that. I went to college for social work. But dealing with people, that's my thing. I love talking to people. And I love to talk too.
Right.
And it's amazing, because we never know when you're young where you're going to be, because a lot of my friends, went to my 45th class reunion and some of the other reunions, and they say, oh, you were so shy in school, and we see you and hear you now. We are amazed, because I was very shy. And as time goes on, you realize as your journey continues in life, what it is you want to do. Because I worked for LA County for 32 years, and I was in management, middle management, and moved up. And I said, when I retired about 10 years ago now, and I said, well, I'm not done yet. I don't like letting any green grass grow under my feet. I like to keep moving. And that's what life is all about, moving and dreaming big, like you said. So do we want to show the clip?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're going to show this clip, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about that clip and talk about some more things that Patrick is getting into. So let's show this clip right now.
Remember Mr. Watson from the church, right?
Yes, I do. Tony, what are you doing here?
Your son told me you've been a little under the weather lately, so he asked that I come over and cook a nice dinner for you.
Well, that's nice. But I'm fine. I mean, you didn't have to do this.
No, it was no problem. I've been having a little trouble cooking for just one since my wife died.
Your wife died?
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, man, me too.
I better get, I don't want anything to burn.
Well, I'll get washed up.
Okay, hurry. It's all hot.
All right.
What?
Be right back.
Hey, Mr. Watson, man, I gotta get out of here. I just got a call.
Oh, no, you're gonna miss all the food.
Sorry about that, man. It looks great, too. But, it's almost like these people can't even drive nowadays, I probably won't even get back till, 2, 3 in the morning? It's crazy.
Well, I love a young entrepreneur.
Well, No, I'm glad for that, because that's me, right? Benny's tongue.
Yeah, Benny.
Look, Mama, you enjoy this dinner. Mr. Watson prepared for you. All right? I love you.
Love you too.
Mwah.
I'm gonna walk him to the door.
John.
Yeah. You gotta come back.
I'll see y'all later.
Yeah.
Love you.
Love you too. Does he know who you are?
Not a clue.
That look she gives you, like, wait a minute now. And like I said, I haven't missed an episode, and I saw that one, and that was really nice. I mean, was that which episode? Was that the first when you were introduced on the show?
That was episode 7, I believe. That was when I was first introduced to the show in the first season.
Right. And that was a great scene. I loved it. And as we got further over in there, people learned to hate you.
Yeah, after that, we had that second scene where we're sitting having dinner, and we had to rewrite the whole scene because now I was his dad.
Right.
So we started off with the scene, and then me and Crystal started doing some improv and with Tyler Perry yelling out stuff. Tell him that he left you and so then she's like, well, then you was this and that, and we back and forth, and they had somebody writing stuff down. Right. Then we took a break, went to lunch, came back. They had it all written up for us, read it over, and
and that's from the improv.
And that from the improv, yeah.
Wow.
And then we did that scene with you left me and this and that.
Wow.
Oh yeah, loved it, and I love your role in there as Benny's dad. That daddy wisdom, and then Hannah has that mama wisdom because she really plays that mama wisdom role throughout the all the episodes. So it's just wonderful seeing how the show evolves, and with Candace, and what's it like working with Candace and.
She's good. Well, Hannah.
Miss Tika.
I do most of my scenes with her.
I see.
But I did a scene with Tika as well, and she's good. She's good. Yeah. We had the one scene in the hospital when Benny's in the coma.
Right.
And
I remember that one.
I was like, who are you? I'm like, who are you? And then in the courtroom when I was gonna pull the plug, I had to get the judgment in the court, and that's another scene we work with, but it's great working with her.
Oh yeah. That's when people learn to hate you, Tony Watson, because you wanted to take Benny's kidney.
When I got the scripts for season 2, I was just as surprised as everybody else.
Right.
Oh, you got that script and said, "Oh, am I going to have to steal this man's kidney?"
When I got the script, I was thinking, I wonder what Tony's going to do. Probably going to get back with Hannah. They're going to start a little relationship. Then I was reading the script.
Not going that route.
Problem. Going to try to pull the plug. I said, "Oh man."
Oh yeah. You created a lot of drama there. What was that like doing that? Pulling the plug and Hannah really going off on you because you guys did some sizzling scenes there.
Oh yeah, man, and she's so good that you don't really have to do anything because she brings so much emotion. If you're just looking at her, you're gonna feel it. You're gonna feel that scorn, that anger, that emotion. And so it was great. And when I first got the scripts, and I saw that I had a kidney problem, I did my research to find out, what's going on when you're on dialysis, and how long you had to live, and you're on the waiting list for these kidneys, and so then that kind of shaped my character because Tony is all about self-preservation.
Right.
So when he had that opportunity, and the doctor said his son is brain dead, he already had his other kids tested because he's got a couple of other kids, and none of them were a match. So in Tony's mind, this is his opportunity to survive. And Tony, it's not that he didn't love his son or really want to come back into his life. It's that he's really, he's worried about self-preservation.
That's right.
So this is his chance to get a kidney and maybe have his son live on in him.
Right.
And we were saying, no, you better not take his kidney. You're not going to get Bennie. We don't want Bennie to die. We want Bennie to come back. And then, too, when you mentioned about Hannah, we were thinking, in my mind, I was thinking, well, I think they might get back together there. maybe there's something there, romance or something. But Tyler fooled us on that one.
Fooled everybody on that one.
Mm-hmm. I like the way that you're able to do things on the fly. You know, as far as doing the improv, it just makes it more real. Yeah. Especially when you can feed off of each other with the emotional aspect of it. Yeah, it just makes it feel like you're in the show with you all.
Oh yeah.
You know? Yeah. Now that was a beautiful opportunity to like create the character and be part of the whole creative process.
Right.
Which was amazing. You know, to have Tyler Perry give you that opportunity to pretty much creating the character along with them.
That's right.
And the backstory and the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah. And you said something about Tyler is there on the set, and he's, as you guys are doing the scenes, does you said he just kind of throws in things at the spur of the moment?
Yeah. He throws stuff in when Hannah's yelling at me, say, by the blood of Jesus.
You went almost like him, Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he throws some stuff in there like that. Say this, you know. Because when Hannah's going off on me, I think it inspires him. He throws some stuff in there, and you know, he's not afraid to throw some religion in there, which is is refreshing. You know?
Oh yeah. Definitely, because his movies, and I've seen many of them, he creates points and purpose behind the different movies that he does. And the same with this, the have and have-nots is so interesting because there are so many have-nots, and he brings to life the plight of the have-nots. And not only that, he brings to life the plight of the haves.
Right.
Because a lot of people think just because you have money, you're sitting on easy street.
Yeah.
They got just as much problems.
Yeah.
Sometimes more.
If not more.
Yeah.
And he so eloquently brings that out in the have and have-nots, because he shows the side of that world that many people think doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Right.
Yeah. What's next for you now? We got a few more minutes left before we wrap up here. What's coming up for you in the future? Is it just the haves and the have-nots, or are you pursuing other acting endeavors as well?
Well, I did a movie not too long ago called The Wish. I shot down in Atlanta, which is also about organ donation. It's kind of a faith-based movie about a woman giving the gift of her kidney to another teacher, and I played a role in that. And that same director is going to be doing a movie about bullying that I'm slated to be in, called The Tormented, where my daughter is a victim of being bullied, and you find out she had tried to commit suicide at one time, but we moved, and now she's in a whole new school district, and there's another kid that's getting bullied that she's trying to help, and so that it should be a really good movie.
Oh, that sounds like it. When is that coming out? Do you know yet?
In 2016. Well, we're still working on the funding for it, but and it's slated to go up in 2016 to shoot.
I'll be sure to catch it.
That should be good, because we hear a lot about those kind of stories lately. For the last recent years, we've heard about people being, or teenagers being bullied, whether it be in school or even on the internet. You hear about internet bullying as well, whether it be on Facebook or other social media outlets. So that should be really good.
And people dying as a result of people bullying them. They're committing suicide. So that should be very interesting.
Yeah, this director, his name is Ty Mans. He's really into that faith-based movies and with a message, whether it be, bullying or kidney donation and things like that.
That's great. So Patrick, what are you most passionate about?
Well, besides my acting, I'm pretty passionate about that. Probably family.
That's great.
I got 3 kids. So married.
Great, wonderful, wonderful.
So,
and we give a shout out to the family and the kids. And just before the show, we were talking about your son going off to college.
Yeah,
What's that like? You're gonna start to be one minus empty nester.
No, man, I'm feeling old. Man, my son's getting ready to go to college, so that's a exciting moment. I know my wife is going to be all in tears next week when he goes. But it's exciting for him and for us too.
Oh yeah.
And then 1 down, 2 to go.
Oh yeah, and it's always great to hear that, particularly from black men, because a lot of times in society they think black men are not interested in their family. And I know I have my one and only grandbaby just turned a year from my oldest here, and I'm excited about being a grandmother. Thank you. There are so many black men who are so passionate about their families, and that's a good thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's very healthy, and it's healthy for the children, and a shout out to your wife and the whole family. That's great. So when the few minutes we have left, how do your fans converse with you and get in touch with you? And
they can get me on Twitter at Patrick Faucette. Also on Instagram at Patrick Faucette, and on Facebook at Patrick Faucette Actor.
And that's Faucette, Faucette. Yes. So go on social media and look him up. He's great, and we want to thank you for being our special guest here today.
One last question before we wrap it up. What's the craziest thing that you've encountered since you've become an actor, particularly on the have and have-nots, and people are hating you about being Benny's, want to take Benny's kidney and do that? What's the craziest thing that's happened to you?
Well, I mean, I get some crazy fan tweets back when I was trying to pull the plug on Benny. I had some people cussing me out saying, man, I hope you die and go to hell and your kidney burns in hell after trying to pull the plug on your son. How could you do that? Then my mom was calling me.
That saying, mama wisdom?
Oh, my mom called me. She said, why are you trying to kill your own son? I said, Mom, that's not my real son.
Right.
I know, but that's not, you're not like that. Why would you do that?
Mama, it's just TV.
I was like, this is just in the script, Mom.
That's right.
Yeah, that mama wisdom. I know what she's talking about, because I was saying the same thing. I was saying, now, Tony, why do you want to, you can't kill Benny. Leave Benny alone.
So, yeah, people, you go out and people recognize you, that first thing they say, I'm mad at you.
I know. Sometimes we forget and mix reality with fantasy.
Yeah, but
people
that's
get emotionally involved, but it's a great thing.
Yeah, it shows you're doing your job.
That's right.
That's right.
Y'all believe
that's
it.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's right.
People were mad at you, so you were doing a great job. Great acting job there, Patrick. See, I'm calling you Tony.
See that?
But anyhow, give us some final thoughts, and we need to get on out, wrap it up.
Final thoughts. Like I said, if your dream is to become an actor, dream big and just keep pursuing it. Don't ever give up.
Absolutely. And that's great. It's simple advice, but it definitely can go a long way. I mean, no matter what your career endeavors are, it definitely matters to dream big, and as long as you keep it moving and keep it going, it will happen for you eventually. You know. So with that said,
and those of you who want to watch the Have and Have-Nots,
that's right.
Be sure and tune in here on the West Coast. It comes on every Tuesday night, and I'm tuned into it. It comes on at 6:00 p.m. and at 9:00 p.m. It repeats for those of you who might be working and you need to get it a little bit later. It's on OWN Network, the Oprah Winfrey Network.
Yep.
Now, I don't know what time it comes on the East Coast and so forth, but you just go and check your local TV.
Check it out and you'll get it.
Check it out.
One way or the other.
Watch that sizzling drama, the Have and Have-Nots. And Tony, do you plan on coming back?
I do plan on coming back. We'll see what Tyler Perry has in store for me.
You heard
what kind of trouble I can stir up.
I can't wait to see you back, Tony. Better know I'm Patrick. Patrick Faucette. And thank you so much for coming in. And with that being said,
thank you.
As I always close out the show every week, remember, your power lies within you. Let it loose. Until next week.
Until next week, yes.